Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
I'm ABC's M. Wynn in Washington. The manhunt for the escaped murderer out of Pennsylvania continues. How police say he slipped through police lines more than once. Coming up.
78 degrees at 4:30. Hey, it felt less humid. It almost felt like a cool front came in, even though we're at 78 degrees. Hey, but we'll take it after these triple-digit 74 days that we've had in a row, and yesterday we didn't make it
to 100. We did not. That's great news. Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday. It is September 12th. I had to check my notes because I've been gone for a week, but it's good to be back.
Welcome back,
Thank
Mark.
you.
Very jealous of his tan and your vacation time in the islands.
Yes, nice Caribbean cruise, but it's good to be back in San Antonio. I timed this just right coming back with a high of only 97. And there's more good news as Mike joins us now, and that is there is some shower and thunderstorm activity in the Texas Hill Country.
Yes, indeed. It is great. It was nice to be able to walk outside yesterday and just not feel like you were being roasted.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like 98 degrees. You're like, this is nice and cool.
Which, ironically, that's the historically hottest that we get in the first part of August. 97 is the normal high temperature in early August. Anyway, let's look at this picture right now. It is absolutely gorgeous. I just want to kind of sit on this for the next couple of hours. But these showers out in the hill country, they are starting to die off a little bit. At least you're getting some rain there in the hill country. As you can see, not as many lightning strikes at all. They're moving down to the southeast at a fairly good clip, 25, 30 miles per hour. And the leading edge is just about moving into Kerrville right now. There may actually be a couple little sprinkles that have popped up out ahead of this that have moved through town. I think these are going to be continuing to die down. That's what a lot of models are indicating even before they hit here in town. For the morning commute, just be on the lookout for a couple of these showers. But again, the majority of this will continue to die down. We'll have one or two of those showers, a couple of damp spots on the roads as the morning rolls on around here. 79 degrees right now, mid 70s in the hill country. So Sunday morning, we had the low humidity around here. It came back up yesterday morning, and now this morning it is back down somewhat, just mid and upper 60s. So yes, it is a bit more pleasant when you step outside, and mold is on the moderate side. The updated count, of course, will come out later on. It is a green conservation day for CPS Energy. You can always scan that QR code to find out more ways to try and cut back on energy usage. So a couple of leftover showers, primarily to the northwest this morning. We'll dip down to 74 degrees, and then high today of 96, partly cloudy. Again, one or two storms may try and pop up. I think there may be another cluster that develops later on tonight. About the same situation in the next couple of days, but we have better rain chances. This front that's kind of lying in the area is going to move on through here just as we approach the weekend. So that's going to enhance some rain chances. We'll get that all sorted out in just a couple of minutes. Sarah, Mark?
Thank you, Mike. An extramarital affair and how it affected the Texas Attorney General's office. It's what took up a good portion of the day 5 of Ken Paxton's impeachment trial. One of Paxton's former staffers took the stand and said that Paxton's affair took a toll on employees at the Attorney General's office. She said Paxton's secret relationship forced other employees to work long and odd hours. The affair is part of the abuse of power and bribery charges that Paxton is facing during this trial. If the state's Senate convicts Paxton, he could be banned from ever holding office in Texas again. The trial could wrap up this week.
This morning, a local man accused of running a puppy mill is now wanted for animal cruelty. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office says 79-year-old Peyton Leon Wyrick was responsible for the 80 animals seized just last month. At the time, Sheriff Javier Salazar said several of the animals found at the home off Kinney Road near 35 were dead or about to give birth. Now, BCSO says it believes Wyrick has left the state. If you have any information on his whereabouts, you're asked to contact the Bexar County Sheriff's Office. This morning, police in the state of Pennsylvania on the ground in Chester County, where they've confirmed a new sighting of an escaped killer.
Sources say he may now be armed with a rifle. As ABC's M. Wynn reports, this is the first sighting of that person this weekend after the suspect changed his appearance.
Over Overnight, authorities swarming an area in Chester County, Pennsylvania, investigating a new confirmed sighting from a chopper of escaped murderer Danilo Cavalcante. Pennsylvania State Police say they are pursuing Cavalcante and that he is armed. Sources telling our station WPVI that a local homeowner had shot at someone matching Cavalcante's description. It's unclear if that individual was hit.
We have always treated him as potentially being armed. He's been carrying a pack. There's no way to know exactly what's in that pack.
Sources say law enforcement also found shoes in the search. Residents in the area were told to lock all doors and windows and remain indoors. The latest images captured on doorbell video shows Cavalcante now clean-shaven, wearing different clothes.
No perimeter is 100% secure. It's not a wall. It doesn't have a ceiling. We will ultimately capture him. He doesn't have what he needs to last long term.
The 34-year-old convicted of killing his ex-girlfriend first broke out of prison 12 days ago, crab walking up these narrow walls to the roof to escape. And despite their initial perimeter, investigators say he slipped past them and stole this unlocked van. Cavalcante then went to the Phoenixville area where he tried to contact a former co-worker who called local police. By the time officers showed up, he was gone. Local, state, and federal law enforcement still searching.
We're going to prepare for the long game, and the long game is what we do best.
When asked if preparing for the long game means they won't catch Cavalcante soon, authorities said no, that they still try to get him as soon as possible, but that they won't promise his capture by a certain date. M. Nguyen, ABC News, Washington.
Other news this morning, a flash flood emergency is in effect until later this morning as life-threatening flooding continues across western Massachusetts. Radar estimates show 6 to 9 inches of rain fell north of Boston in a matter of hours, leaving cars submerged. The flooding is blamed for a large sinkhole in the city, and the public schools there are closed today because so many roads are closed. In Rhode Island, powerful floodwaters poured into homes and businesses, submerging the state's capital. The severe storms also canceling thousands of flights and causing a travel nightmare at airports across the country.
The U.S. State Department is taking a needed step to carry out a U.S.-Iran prisoner swap. So it was waived sanctions to allow the transfer of $6 billion into Iranian funds from South Korea to Qatar. The U.S. continues to work towards the full release of American citizens detained in Iran, but there's no update on timing for a resolution. So the deal involves 5 U.S. citizens detained by Iran who would be allowed to leave in exchange for the transfer of the funds and the release of the 5 Iranians held in the U.S. That's according to the State Department document seen by Reuters Secretary of State Antony Blinken, determined that waiving the sanctions was in the national security interest of the United States.
437, 78 degrees.
Up next, a scam alert, how a Texas businessman ended up helping the bad guys steal tens of thousands of dollars.
Traffic alert this morning. No major issues, just some construction, according to Stephen Cavazos, who is in the building now. And there's 90 at General McMullen, 37 at 410. We'll talk to him coming up at the top of the hour, as is normal.
We didn't hit triple digits yesterday, first time in several days. I was staying yesterday.
You could feel it, too.
The marathon, the end of the marathon's in sight. Hopefully, we're over this crazy triple-digit temps. Mike will have our forecast when we come back.
Now to a scam that a Texas businessman wants everybody to know about. He got an email about a purchase he knew was not real.
But by trying to do the right thing, he ended up helping the bad guy steal tens of thousands of dollars. He shared his experience with our Marilyn Moritz.
It's brutal. It feels like somebody basically stuck a knife in you.
Punched in the gut and wallet. Steve, who asked we not use his last name, is now out $80,000. It all started with an email, an invoice from PayPal.
I knew it was fake because it was a charge for an Apple iPhone.
So he hit delete. But when Steve logged onto his PayPal account,
sure enough, it was there.
Charges for 2 iPhones. Someone, he said, had created a real invoice for fake charges. So he called the phone number in the invoice message to alert PayPal. He thought it was customer service.
He said, oh, so you have a bad charge, we'll take care of that, blah, blah, blah. And unfortunately, I fell for it.
Here's where it got really tricky. The man asked Steve to load software so he could credit his account. But what he really did was give the scammer remote access to his computer and his bank accounts.
They asked me to sign into my bank account to see if there was a charge for $1,499.99, and there was.
He was told to type $1,499.99 into his account, but
It kept coming up on the screen, $149,999. I said, something's wrong. It's not taking the decimal point. And he goes, what do you mean?
he says they manipulated his accounts, so it appeared he'd been reimbursed way too much.
Then they go into their drama acting school and scamming school and basically say, oh my God, I'm going to lose my job. He acts like he's crying, I'm going to get fired. Their modus operandi is to make you involved in their emotional drama, and they rush you, they rush you, they rush you.
They told him to wire money back, starting with $80,000.
A lot of money's at stake here.
To protect yourself from similar schemes, beware unusual forms of payment.
In other words, they're asking you to do a wire transfer. They're asking you to do an unsecure method, gift cards, again, loading up gift cards, that situation again. Those are highly lucrative for them to get the money, and it's gone. It's simply cash in the wind.
Verify who you're calling and never install software while you're on the phone with someone you don't really know. As for Steve, he's working to get his money back from a bank in Hong Kong and feels compelled to warn others.
These people are just ruthless, and they will destroy a person financially.
Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
So PayPal responded to the scam saying, in part, quote, we are aware of this phishing scam and encourage customers to always be vigilant online and to contact customer service directly if they suspect they are a target of a scam.
Oh, I feel for this guy. I really do. What a mess.
I'm always like, if I see those in my inbox, I'm like, I don't even want to delete it. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to do anything because you don't know.
I'm suspicious of everything now. I got something about a payment form issue with Amazon before vacation, and I deleted all that. Turns out there was an actual issue, but it just didn't look legit to me.
Mark, skeptical of everything.
A little bit.
Shocked.
444, 78 degrees.
Up next, a first look at new video that shows a 12-year-old saving his therapist from drowning in a Florida pool. Well, 12-year-old Florida boy is describing how he jumped into action to save a drowning adult in a pool last week. ABC's Rhiannon Alley has the details in today's GMA First Look.
In this morning's GMA First Look, a heart-pounding rescue.
I really feel really proud of myself.
Watch as 12-year-old Austin McMillan saves his therapist, Jason Paquette, from drowning in a Florida pool last week. Paquette tried to see how long he could hold his breath underwater, the 12-year-old looking on and eventually noticing something was wrong.
He was underwater, and I was like, that's way too long. He cannot do that.
Just so grateful to be alive and that he stepped up in a time where I would have died if he didn't step up.
Paquette regaining consciousness just as Austin's dad arrived home and called 911.
When I first got the call from my husband, I almost felt like I couldn't speak. My whole body locked up.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have more of Austin's story and the surprising way he learned CPR. With your GMA First Look, I'm Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
News on the roads, no accidents on this early Tuesday morning. We do have construction right now, eastbound Highway 90 at Callahan and 35 north at Olympia Parkway.
Now I keep thinking about that scam story and just like the guy said, how convincing they were and the emotions and all that. And it seems like any, and do it now, that legitimates are not going to be, if you call somebody and go, hey, I thought this was okay, it's going to be fine.
I think the gut punch is that it could happen to any of us at any time. Yeah.
Being just like Mark Austin, skeptical of, don't trust anyone.
I think about the time years ago, and I've said this before on the air, when I got the call from CPS saying that, and when I called that number back, they had the exact same music.
Oh, wow.
Everything was identical. And finally, it was like, no, I called the regular number that I had.
Always Google the actual number.
Yeah, got to do a little. It's always good to be vigilant. I wouldn't say necessarily disbelieving, but do your homework for sure. Mike, I'm just still distracted by what's on radar behind you there over in the west.
It is gorgeous to see, and we got some showers out there as of right now. Now, these things have been dying down. It was very impressive just a couple of hours ago. There was a lot more in the way of some lightning strikes out here, and obviously they are continuing to fizzle on out. These are moving down to the southeast at a good, say, 30 to 35 miles per hour. So at that clip, let's put a timeline on this right here. Right on the, we'll go with the leading edge of these showers here. So down to the southeast, again, 30 miles per hour. And that's going to put it right around Medina at 503, Bandera about 527. If indeed they do hold together, that's kind of the operative phrase here, because these, like I said, are continuing to die down, but they will move through the hill country. It's not going to be a drop breaker, but it's great to see any sort of rain around here. Lake Hills, it's going to be just about 550 when these continue to move on through. We don't have quite as many lightning strikes either with it. I mean, this was really, like I said, lit up earlier this morning. Now, once this goes on through here, and again, a couple of sprinkly showers even in the metropolitan area. This is the computer model, and it is showing some of these leftover showers, but again, they continue to die down as we go into the morning hours. Again, few of them that are going to be here in town. Now, as far as the humidity, remember, like I was talking about at the top of the show, Sunday it was lower after the showers and storms Saturday night. Then it came back up yesterday morning. Now it is, compared to this time yesterday, lower. We will have a little bit of a rise in it throughout the morning hours, but then it's going to continue to drop back down in through the afternoon. So it's going to be another pleasant afternoon. Temperatures in the mid upper 90s. We got these few showers around here this morning. We make it up through the 80s. Look at that. We're not going to be at the normal high temperature by noon, so small steps here. 96, still 5 above normal, but we will take that. And a couple of those scattered showers and thunderstorms around the area later on this afternoon. But I think we'll probably see maybe another round of them tonight, then, and the same thing tomorrow, then Thursday as well. So it's not going to be great chances of rain. However, we get into Friday, and the front, which is sort of lying in the area, is going to start to work its way on through here. That's going to be our best opportunity for some showers and thunderstorms. It looks like it's going to be Friday late overnight into early Saturday, and we'll also have temperatures drop down into the low 90s. So got a 20% chance, stray shower and thunderstorm here and there today, tomorrow, Thursday, mid and upperish. Looks like temperatures peak a little bit on Thursday, and then we're in the low 90s on Saturday, Sunday. The better chance of rain. Now, as far as Friday Night Football, that's still kind of got to get it sorted out as to exactly when that line of rain will move on in here, but that's going to be the best chance of rain overnight Friday into Saturday.
You know what's crazy is my husband, I dropped him off at the trail for a run yesterday, like at 3 o'clock in the shade, but he was like, it was like 96, 97 when he went. And he was like, it felt cool because we've acclimated to these like 105, 106. Yeah. If you're running in the evening at like 7 p.m., it's like 98 degrees or even still 100. It's wild. It
is wild.
I mean, think about Friday. Friday was, up around 105. So almost 10 degrees lower yesterday.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Thank you, Mike. 453, 78 degrees.
Up next, why people are picketing Drew Barrymore's new show. Plus, there's good news for fans of Rima and Selena Gomez.
A bunch of people in Hollywood are mad at Drew Barrymore right now. Plus, Doja Cat returns to the top of the charts.
For the latest on what's happening in Hollywood, here's ABC's Jason Nathanson.
Inside the CBS building in New York Monday, Drew Barrymore started a new season of her talk show, while outside, striking writers, including Barrymore's own WGA writers, picketed the show. Matt Lappin is a writer for Stephen Colbert's Late Show, saying he understands people desperately need work. But
if we don't stick together against the studios, we won't be able to get fair wages that we deserve.
Barrymore posted online over the weekend that the decision to return was totally on her. She owns it.
Baby, calm down, calm down.
History for Rema and Selena Gomez's hit song Calm Down, passing 1 billion streams on Spotify, the first track led by an African artist to do so. Rema is Nigerian. Meanwhile, Doja Cat returns to the top of the charts with Paint the Town Red, the single climbing to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. It's her second #1 and also the first rap song to top the chart in over a year.
Stepped out on the road, became a woman.
And Grammy-winning singer, Oscar-winning actress, and Emmy-nominated talk show host Jennifer Hudson is 42 today. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Jason Nathanson, ABC News.
It's 4:57 and 78 degrees.
Google is something most of us use every day, and now the U.S. government is taking aim at the search engine. Up next, what a new antitrust trial could mean for one of the world's biggest companies.
Plus, Michelle Barrientos Vela returns to a Bexar County courtroom. We'll tell you why.
And checking TransGuide, Steve is in the studio. We'll get updated on the construction spots around town as we take a live look at Loop 410 at Ray Ellison Boulevard.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Making headlines this morning, a landmark antitrust case against Google starts today. Just ahead, how a loss for the company could be a big deal when it comes to search engine options from competitors.
It's a big day for the Bexar County Commissioners Court. Why some commissioners say part of the nearly $3 billion budget isn't being used appropriately.
Overnight showers and storms making their way closer to San Antonio as the camera is moving. Is that you, Mike? That was you. Okay. We're going to take a look at your forecast coming up because we do have showers and storms in part of our viewing area. Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, September 12th.
Thank you so much for joining us. And good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, let's go straight to Mike for an update on those showers and storms. Mike, they've been slowly fizzling out over the last couple of hours.
Yes, when I first got into work, there was this great line up there. I mean, just lit up with lightning strikes and everything. And then now it is sort of fizzling on out. And yeah, I've got the camera pointed off to the northwest just to see if we'll see anything. This is over there, I-10 at 410. Nothing is showing up here in town as of yet. There may be a sprinkler or two, but I think these are going to, again, continue to really kind of fizzle on out and stay up to the north, and a couple of damp spots here and there. 79 degrees, that bottom number, dew point 66. At this time yesterday, we were looking at 73 or so it was fairly humid. So it has dropped down, the humidity has, and it may go up a little bit throughout the day, but then drop back down this afternoon. And look at that, a high temperature today of 96. Still 5 above normal, but hey, we will take that. It's about 10 below what it was even just last Friday. The aquifer did not change in the past 24 hours. It's a push. We'll take that. And the allergens mold is on the moderate side. All right, take a look at radar right now. And there's that big cluster of showers and a few leftover storms well up there to the north and to the northwest. But as you can see, even as this loops on through over the past hour, how it has been sort of dying down just a little bit. Still a few more decent downpours up here to the north of Junction. Also, as you kind of step back and look at this, it had been moving primarily to the southeast. It almost looks like it's now sort of moving a bit more in an eastwardly direction. So again, sort of staying up to the north of us a bit more. And kind of zooming on in here, even the leading edge of this, which had some decent downpours in and around Kerrville, Medina, this is starting to sort of weaken even more. So it's just a few light little showers right in there. And this will continue to work its way, we'll call it east-southeast, 25-30 miles per hour. Whether it makes it here in town, again, kind of doubtful, but just be on the lookout for 1 or 2 of these showers around here this morning. Again, 79 degrees, everybody in the mid and upper 70s on average, and that humidity is somewhat lower, mold being on the moderate side. So a couple of leftover showers primarily to the northwest. It's a pleasant morning, despite the fact we are still well above normal. Then later on today, Mid upper 90s, a storm or two is possible. Not very likely, just one or two. I think there may also be another one of these clusters of storms that tries to develop late tonight, so we'll be on the lookout for that tomorrow. Tomorrow and Thursday, then, about the same situation. Mid upper 90s. Temperatures will spike a little bit on Thursday. One or two of those storms out there. Then the better chance of rain is going to be Friday. That front that we've been talking about is sort of lying across the area just up to the north, just kind of hanging out there. Then it's going to start to move south, and that's going to be Friday overnight into Saturday. So that's going to be the best opportunity for some rain. And then we will also have lower temperatures on Saturday and Sunday. All those details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Stephen, good morning, sir. Anything going on yet?
Hey, good morning, Mike. Well, you asked me earlier if there were any droplets on any of the TransGuide cameras. One of the cameras actually that's not pictured behind me out towards Junction shows a lot of those droplets have taken over at the camera that points along I-10 westbound. But behind me, the roads are pretty clear. 410 at Ray Ellison, and you can see at US 90 at General McMullen. Traffic's moving pretty early this morning as we have a lot of folks getting ready to get the day started. Thankfully, no major delays are being reported, but we still have plenty of construction taking place. One of the areas where we saw delays yesterday was right here along US 90 eastbound between Callahan Road and Military Drive. Now, progress. There was actually some road work that took place there again last night. Looks like crews may have wrapped up. At one point, only the right lane was getting by, and you can see behind me that we have a little bit of yellow that's building out there. So hopefully that improves within the minutes. But other than that, it looks like we have a pretty clear start to our Tuesday morning as traffic does get moving. Behind me, the roads are clear. Let's take a look at those travel times. If you plan on heading into the Alamo City, it's still a pleasant drive from Pleasanton along 37 northbound with 28 minutes at this hour. Now along US 90 eastbound, it's still the same drive time, 28 minutes. So that road work really hasn't hindered the commute for a lot of drivers that are heading in. And that arrival from Lytle should be about 16 minutes along I-35 northbound. But back here on TransGuide I-10 at the Y, off to a decent start back here in town. I'll give our friends at TransGuide a call to see how things are looking elsewhere, but we'll have another update for you coming up a little bit later on. Sarah?
Thank you, Stephen. Today is a big day for the Bexar County Commissioners Court. Leaders will vote on the county's $2.95 billion budget. A public hearing is scheduled during that meeting. After that, leaders will vote. So that starts at 10 a.m. at the Bexar County Courthouse. And one commissioner is asking whether the proposal is fair. So Precinct 4 Commissioner Tommy Calvert spoke up during final budget hearing yesterday. He says the budget lacks equity. He says each precinct is set to receive $10.5 million, no matter how big or small they are. But some people disagree.
It is a little bit late to kind of blow up the whole process. There's been a lot of work that's been put into this.
I didn't have a sense that it was just this disparate. It could be more than a tweak. It might need a root canal.
Calvert wants a citizens committee to take a closer look at the budget.
A Northside ISD trustee arrested on suspicion of DWI will stay on the school board. Last night, trustees announced the board does not have the authority to remove Dr. Carla Duran. The District 3 trustee was arrested during a traffic stop earlier this month. Duran shared a statement with KSAT last week saying in part she is, quote, fully committed to continue to serve the Northside Independent School District community.
Michelle Barrientos Vela returns to a Bexar County courtroom. The ex-constable is appealing her felony conviction for tampering with records. Her case was moved to an appeals court in El Paso to balance court dockets, but then it was moved back here over questions about whether the trial record was complete. So looking back, there were multiple court reporters working Barrientos Vela's case. It was also moved between trial courts and had numerous hearings.
We need to confirm that there was nothing in the 379 that was heard or transcribed that also needs to be supplemented.
Barrientos Vela faces 90 days in jail pending the outcome of her appeal. She is on probation through early 2028 of January. According to court records, she has followed the terms of her community supervision.
Now to the landmark antitrust case against Google going to trial today.
The question is Google too powerful, and is it a monopoly that should be broken up? ABC's Derek Dennis explains what a loss for Google would mean for other search engine companies.
This morning, Google goes on trial. The search engine, accessed by some 8.5 billion users daily, handling an estimated 99,000 queries per second, is accused of stifling competition and creating an online monopoly.
Google is accused basically of buying its way out of competition
The allegation is that it made a bunch of deals mainly with Apple to prevent other search engines from getting a foothold and challenging it.
Columbia law professor Tim Wu says it's fine for Google and its parent company Alphabet to work to maximize profits.
But what's not allowed is to make a deal that locks other people out. And the allegation, at least, is that they didn't compete on the merits, that they spent their money to create kind of a fortress that no other competitor could reach anybody.
And the implications go far beyond Google into the growing artificial intelligence market.
The question is going to be who gets to compete and how they get to compete in the artificial intelligence space.
Professor Wu says a win for Google at trial will mean business as usual. A loss, he says, will allow for more search engine options from competitors. But first, Google gets to make one big argument.
Google's going to say we've been successful because people like us. When given the choice, people always choose Google search.
The last big antitrust trial was against Microsoft in the 90s. A judge ruled the company placing its Internet Explorer software in so many personal computers amounted to a monopoly. In the end, Microsoft agreed to change its business practices and allow more competition.
As for the case against Google, the trial is expected to last through November, with a decision not expected until next year. Derek Dennis, ABC News.
Back here in San Antonio, 5:10, 78 degrees.
An American caver trapped underground in Turkey finally hoisted to safety. Up next, how workers were able to rescue him and why he was in that cave in the first place.
Plus, an iPhone 15 lineup with USB-C and a new watch are just some of what's expected from the Apple product launch event later today. We'll take a look at what else is new.
78 degrees at 5:10 this morning. It's crazy that just not being in the triple digits feels like a cool front, but we do have some rain in our viewing area right now. Mike will let us know about it when we come back.
New this morning, an American researcher trapped for nearly 2 weeks in a cave in Turkey is now free.
As ABC's Rhiannon Alley reports, he's now talking about the incredible rescue and what it was like to see light of day again.
It is amazing to be above ground again.
American cave explorer Mark Dickey speaking overnight about this dramatic moment, finally being hoisted to safety. He spent 12 long days trapped in a Turkish cave after falling severely ill more than 3,400 feet below the surface, unable to ascend. Dickey now describing his harrowing struggle for survival.
My consciousness started to get harder to hold on to, and I reached to the point that I was like, I'm not going to live.
ABC's Marcus Moore reporting from the scene, rescuers behind him emerging with Dickey.
You can see Mr. Dickey there with that thermal blanket wrapped around him. This was a delicate operation, a delicate mission, one that took a lot of manpower and a lot of planning.
More than 150 rescuers teamed up, spending days beneath the surface, giving Dickey life-saving medical intervention for gastrointestinal bleeding, including a blood transfusion, all more than a half-mile underground. Then, beginning the treacherous journey, pulling Dickey, sometimes vertically, through the complex cave system on a stretcher, traversing narrow, winding passageways, even as the cave flooded with 3 feet of water.
It's been one hell of a crazy adventure, but I'm on the surface safely. I'm still alive.
Back above ground, Dickey grateful for the light at the end of the tunnel.
I gotta tell you, I don't know what to say. This is overwhelming. This is a first.
Make it a last.
Make it a last time too. Thank you.
Look at that smile. Dickey was flown by helicopter to a hospital where he is now recovering. And his parents, in a statement, thanking rescuers for the tremendous effort to save their son. Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
It's 5:16 and 78 degrees.
Up next on GMSA, how Logitech's new webcam is taking your meetings and live streams to a new level.
Taking a look outside the roads with TransGuide. If we have any issues, and we'll give you an update on ongoing construction. Stephen Cavazos will let us know about that when we come back.
Hold it!
Imagine a world with no drama.
I haven't signed Jody's card yet.
At 4imprint, finding the promotional products you need to create a memorable moment is an easy mission. Our expert team will take care of every detail to make your success a certainty. Take the drama out of ordering promotional products at 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain. With Allegra, allergies don't hold us back. Allegra starts working 2 times faster than Claritin. And unlike Zyrtec, it won't make us drowsy, so you can live your greatness. And for kids, try Children's Allegra, the #1 allergist-recommended non-drowsy brand.
Well, what do you think about their offer?
I think you can never have too many zeros.
Welcome back, 520, and Stephen has some great news. Proof of rain in our area.
Mike had asked me earlier before we even started the 5 a.m. newscast, were there any droplets on any of the TransGuide cameras out on the northwest side? Our friends at TransGuide were kind enough to get us this shot along I-10 at Kerrville. Let's get a quick look at that, and we can see that reflection out on the roadway. And of course, what Mike likes to say, some of those vehicles kicking up some rooster tails out there. Drive safe. You're not really seeing any delays, but it does look like there may be a stall vehicle out over there. Let's watch out and make sure that we can get to our destination on time and safely. But if those roads are wet, keep this in mind. There is sometimes that buildup of dirt and oil, which could make for a slippery commute. So just be careful as your commute does get rolling through I-10. Back here in town, though, it is a very quiet start. We did have some road work taking place along US 90. That's already cleared out, so better news to report out there. But we have more work expected here along FM 1535, otherwise known as Northwest Military Highway. Curb and sidewalk installation. This is going to take us to the end of the work week, September 15th. The work starts pretty early, 7 in the morning and lasts till 6 in the evening. Alternating lane closures in both directions from Loop 1604 to Hebner Road. Scan this QR code takes you directly to our KSAT traffic page. We have a full list of all the closures on our website, so just know before you go. But I do want to bring it back here to this shot at TransGuide if we can, where we do see that, again, the roads are a little bit wet out there along I-10. And again, there are friends at TransGuide doing a slight zoom in for us, and you can see the conditions out there, Mike. Drivers want to be safe this morning.
Some of those showers continue to work their way in a little bit closer to town, although we're not seeing anything yet here. This is the 10 and 410 camera. We're looking out to the west. There's the medical center out there, and everything appears to be dry right now on 10. So here's what it is. There's some of those showers right around Kerrville, and let me zoom in just a little bit here. A couple of them right around Medina, some at Vanderpool. These are moving down to the east to southeast, and I want to zoom out a little bit more, and you can see, first of all, the heart of this is well up there to the north, but notice how also as this kind of loops on through, it almost looks like these are taking more of an eastwardly path. So here in town, now even a couple of little sprinkly showers, perhaps they're around Uvalde. We may see some of these in town, but this is still looking like it's wanting to fizzle on out before it ever reaches here. But again, if you are heading out just to the west of Bernie, northwest of Bernie out there on I-10, as Steve was just showing there on Kerrville, you're going to run into a couple of these showers there, even in portions of Bandera County. Just 1 or 2 of these light little showers. And again, this computer model, this is that rapid update model, pretty much is initializing exactly what we're seeing on live radar right now. But again, these continue to fizzle on out, maybe 1 or 2 of them here in town. For the most part, the morning commute will be on the dry side. And then, maybe 1 or 2 more showers later on today. Not great chances of rain. This front is sort of lying up to the north of us right now, but then watch what happens tonight. This wants to have almost a similar scenario with some of these showers developing then later on tonight. So that is what we'll also be on the lookout for, and may have a couple of them around tomorrow morning. So mid-70s this morning, a couple leftover showers, some sunshine mixed in with the clouds later on today. 96 high temperature. Yes, there is that chance for a couple of showers, not a great chance. Then as we go into Friday, the front is going to sort of lie across the area. So this is going to be the better chance for some rain, which will be Friday night into early Saturday. Now the exact timing of this and whether it's going to affect Friday night football, that will still kind of have to sort out as we go a little bit further into the week, but there will be some showers around in the overnight hours, then a few leftovers going into Saturday. Then we are going to be clearing out on Sunday, and we will have even lower temperatures. I know it's been very nice to see these temperatures like yesterday, which was 97, 96 today, 94 tomorrow. We will peak a bit on Thursday, and then Friday, still mid-90s. The front moves on through here, lower 90s. The better chance of rain is going to be Friday night into early Saturday morning. Overall, a nice looking weekend and closer to normal temperatures this weekend. We'll have more after this.
In today's Tech Bites, Apple is unveiling its new lineup of iPhones today. The iPhone 15 is expected to come with a USB-C charging port for the first time, a move to comply with the European Union mandate taking effect next year. The company could also announce new versions of its Apple Watch and AirPods. Next, a new webcam is perfect for show and tell. Reach is designed with an articulating arm, making remote meetings more interactive. Logitech will crowdfund the camera at first. It's expected to cost between $300 and $400. Finally, Microsoft is releasing a new credit card for gamers called Xbox MasterCard. Customers can earn points on purchases that can be redeemed for games in the Microsoft Store. The card launches for Xbox insiders next week and all Xbox users in the U.S. next year. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
Tuesday morning, 528, 78 degrees.
Aaron Rodgers' debut with the New York Jets didn't go exactly as planned. Just ahead, what's next for the four-time MVP winner?
Plus, Twinkies, Ho-Hos, Ding Dongs, and Zingers. How a new deal is making sure you get to enjoy your favorite Hostess snack cakes for years to come.
And ahead on GMSA at 6, it may not feel like fall, but the tastes of the season are all around us. Some of our KSAT team takes a bite to share if some of the new treats are worth the hype.
Making headlines this morning, the number of natural disasters across the country this year costing the nation billions of dollars.
It's a serious storm, and I think there's going to be a lot of people caught off guard on the effects.
Up next, why Hurricane Lee remains a threat this morning, even though it's still far off the East Coast.
78 degrees at 5:31 feels like a quote-unquote cool front coming in. We didn't hit triple digits yesterday for the first time in so many days. Hey, but we have some rain in our viewing area. Mike will have the forecast for us in just a bit.
Good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday, the 12th of September.
Good morning. Welcome back,
Thank
Mark.
you. Good to be back.
You went on a 7-day cruise.
I did, yes. And I kept this on purpose.
I like it.
I'm just going to keep it this week. Trying to milk vacation to last a little bit.
Makes you still feel like you're
said,
on vacay.
It's a warm-up to No Shave November.
It is, yes, which is literally right around the corner.
Hey, that's crazy to think about that.
Mm-hmm. All right, you were talking about a front. Yes, there is a front which is sort of lying across the area, and that's what is the focal point for some of these showers and a few thunderstorms. We had a nice cluster earlier. I'm going to show you radar in just a moment. But first of all, 79 degrees. The dew point has dropped back down. Of course, yesterday morning it had come up. We had that break in the humidity Sunday morning. So this is fairly pleasant when you step outside this morning. All right, here's radar, and this earlier was very impressive. I mean, there was this red line and just lit up with lightning strikes. Obviously, the majority of this rain is well up there to the north, and notice how it's also almost sort of moving in more of an eastwardly direction. Still getting some of these showers there around Rock Springs, a few of them in and around Lakey. And notice how this line is starting to break up then a little bit more Kerrville. Comfort, you're about to see some of these showers, a couple of them moving through Medina right here. But this is just, again, breaking up. Few little light rain spots here and there right around Utopia. I doubt they make it in toward Bexar County. There may be one or two little sprinkles this morning, but not really looking like it. However, rain chances are still in the forecast. 79 here in town, 80 Canyon Lake, 75 there at Bernie Stage, and 76 in Comfort. Mold is on the moderate side. The updated count's going to come out later on this morning, of course. 88 degrees today at noon. I think that's the first time I have said it won't be in the 90s at noon in forever, just about. Yesterday, 97, today, 96. Still 5 above normal, but hey, we will take that. No triple digits. And a storm or two is going to be possible. Not very likely today. Maybe a couple of more clusters of storms trying to develop tonight. About the same situation tomorrow, Thursday. Then we'll have better rain chances as we head in toward the weekend. We'll get that all sorted out in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, what's going on the road, Stephen?
Well, it's quiet, Mike. Let's get a quick look around town at I-10 at Hebner. And this is a shot that our friends at TransGuide have shown for us at I-10 at Kerrville West. Looks like there's also a stalled 18-wheeler out there. But what we had also noticed is that the roads look a little wet. So just be careful out there if your travels take you outside of San Antonio and maybe up to Kerrville later this morning. 35 at Burbank. Things are really moving out there for a lot of folks that are hitting the roads and getting the day started pretty early. Hopefully a cup of coffee is in order, but as we get a quick look around town, no big delays just yet. But as we get closer to the 6 a.m. hour, we start to see a few more issues that pop up. Thankfully, this is a minor one here at Loop 410 going northbound at I-35. We do have a stalled vehicle, not causing any slowdowns, but as a friendly reminder, it's very dark out there. Make sure to watch out anytime you see those flashing lights. Move over or slow down. Quick look at the travel times. If you are heading into San Antonio from Boerne, it's a 23-minute drive time along I-10 eastbound. 25 minutes for our friends that are traveling in from Bulverde along 281 southbound. And not too awful from New Braunfels, folks. 35 southbound, we have a 24-minute drive time. Back here on TransGuide, we'll keep a close eye on things as the commute does get moving. There's US 90 at General McMullen. People are waking up, getting the day started. We'll have more updates for you coming up a little bit later on. Mark.
Thank you, Stephen. The wrath of Mother Nature has hit the U.S. in the wallet pretty hard over the past 9 months.
So weather officials say storms, tornadoes, and wildfires have cost the U.S. more than $23 billion so far just this year. And as GCNN's John Lawrence reports, even the head of FEMA says if its disaster relief fund isn't replenished soon, it could go broke.
Hurricane Lee is heading toward the United States and eyeing up parts of North America.
It's a serious storm, and I think there's going to be a lot of people caught off guard on the effects.
The National Hurricane Center expects Lee will weaken, but could also expand in size and gain speed over the next few days.
The fact that it's a wide-reaching storm, I'm worried if even if it's not a direct landfall, it's going to impact a lot of folks, and that means power outages inland as the winds are going to go way past the coast.
In addition to being left in the dark, some residents may also see heavy rain, gusts of wind, and potential coastal flooding.
Right now, the probability of tropical storm force winds across portions of New England is about 10 to 20% as of right now. Could that change? Yes, possibly.
The presumed damage caused by Lee will be added to the already record-breaking tab the U.S. has racked up this year from weather-related catastrophes. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration says in 2023, the U.S. has had 23 disasters that cost at least $1 billion each. That passes 2020's previous record of 22 such incidents. NOAA says there's been nearly $58 billion worth of damage, and Hurricane Idalia's costs have yet to be tallied. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Well, new video shows the moment a ruptured gas line caused a home in New York State to explode. So check this out. Reports show that the massive blast even knocked over emergency crews. This happened east of Syracuse over the weekend. Police there say the utility line was cut by a vehicle that crashed into the house, stolen by a 17-year-old driver. No injuries were reported. That explosion also caused extensive damage to 6 nearby homes.
The jackpot for tomorrow's Powerball drawing, an estimated $550 million. The cash option lump sum payout, $266 million. This after there were no tickets matching all 6 numbers in the last drawing. Previous Powerball jackpot win was for $1.08 billion. Remember that one?
Yep.
The third largest Powerball jackpot ever. That was July 19th. There have been 22 consecutive drawings since then without a jackpot winner. And mega tonight, $141 million is on the line.
Buy a ticket. Okay, it's 5:38 and 78 degrees.
Well, if you haven't heard yet, Aaron Rodgers' debut with the New York Jets last night lasted just 4 snaps. Up next, why the 4-time MVP and a shell-shocked fan base will now have to see how long he might be sidelined.
78 degrees at 5:38. We do have some showers in our northwest viewing area. what that means for the San Antonio proper. Mike will let us know. And hey, we're going to see cooler temps ahead. He'll let us know. We'll be back. Now to last night's events and Monday Night Football. Fans of the New York Jets roared as their new quarterback Aaron Rodgers took the field against the Bills.
But Rodgers didn't play for long, and some inside the Jets locker room are now fearing the worst this morning. As ABC's Lionel Moise reports, all that came before an overtime ending you had to see to believe.
Aaron Rodgers' debut with the New York Jets lasted only 4 snaps.
Down goes Rodgers.
The quarterback stood up after being sacked, but then sat down, appearing to grimace from pain. The 39-year-old was taken to the medical tent to be examined as another legendary quarterback, Peyton Manning, reacted live on ESPN's Manningcast.
Is in the tent. He's hurt. He's hurt. Could not have been. Holy cow. I cannot believe this.
Jets coach Robert Saleh says Rodgers will get an MRI today, but Saleh says he fears Rodgers suffered an Achilles injury which would end his season.
MRI is probably going to confirm what we think is already going to happen, so prayers tonight, but it's not good. I heard for Aaron and how much he's invested in all of this. I'm still going to hold out hope, but my heart's with Aaron right now.
The injury silenced a crowd that had been anticipating Rodgers' Big Apple debut, coming from Green Bay after 18 seasons, where he won a Super Bowl and 4 MVP awards. The Jets and Rodgers were also featured on the HBO series Hard Knocks, adding to the hype.
Oh, I got nothing, man. I'm just happy to be out here, excited to be with you guys.
Before the season, Rodgers agreed to a restructured contract, giving him $75 million in guaranteed money over this season and next.
The fact that he's in a boot is a bad sign. The fact he's been ruled out is a bad sign. The fact he's as old as he is a bad sign.
But the game that started with heartache for Jets fans ended in elation. Backup QB Zach Wilson helping to force overtime against the Bills. And then this incredible moment. Jets rookie Xavier Gipson running back a punt 65 yards for the game-winning score, stunning the Bills 22-16.
Touchdown, rookie Xavier Gipson. Game over.
Lionel Moise, ABC News, New York.
And we'll keep you updated on Aaron Rodgers' injury throughout the day right here on KSAT 12. 544, 78 degrees.
Ho-hos, ding-dongs are part of your favorite desserts or snacks. There's good news up next. How the company behind those favorite names is securing its future.
Checking TransGuide. We saw some rain on one of those cameras way out there in Kerrville this morning, but the roads are still dry here in town. That was 281 at Hildebrand. There's Loop 410 at Marbach Road. We'll be back.
In your morning consumer headlines, Instacart's latest worth is now tens of billions of dollars below what the company was worth just a year ago. So the grocery delivery company revealed in an updated initial public offering filing that it's aiming to price its stock between $26 and $28 per share. So that would put the company's value at around $7 billion at the midpoint. Taking into account restricted stock options and warrants, Instacart would be valued as high as $9.3 billion.
If you're trying to book a trip to an MGM resort, it may be tough this morning. MGM Resorts still dealing with a cybersecurity issue that shut down some of its systems. Services like website bookings and remote keys are unavailable. MGM says it's working with law enforcement, and it shut down some of its systems to protect data. Its website is currently offline with an apology message and a list of phone numbers for guests to reach their specific hotel concierge desk. No word when MGM systems will be back online.
There's a new sheriff in town for Twinkies. J.M. Smucker announced it's buying Hostess for $5.6 billion. Smucker, known primarily for its jellies, though it also owns brands like Jif Peanut Butter. Hostess founded in 1919, known for its cake products with fun names like Twinkies, Ding Dongs, Zingers, and Ho-Hos. The sale is a remarkable turnaround for the company after it nearly went belly up in 2012. Investors cheered the news, and Hostess shares surged 17% in pre-market trading. Mark, what's your favorite?
Twinkies by a mile. You?
I don't know. I'm like Ding Dongs or the Zingers with the yellow frosting on top.
That's good stuff.
I know.
Let's check in with Stephen Cavazos. Good morning.
Zingers. I've never had that one before.
Yeah, the one with the yellow. It's like a Twinkie, but with yellow frosting.
Going to the store later. Maybe that should be in my grocery cart. Hey, well, guys, we're taking a look here at TransGuide. If you plan on hitting the roads, whether you're heading to the grocery store or just heading out the door, just to get some tranquility, be on the lookout here along I-10 at Kerrville West. One of the reasons why we're showing this shot is because you can really see as folks are making their way into the area, they're really kicking up those rooster tails, as Mike likes to say. But we also have noticed that there is a stalled vehicle out there along I-10. Very dark out there, so just drive carefully. We want to make sure you get to your destination on time, but more importantly, safely. As we take you back here to town, stalls seem to be the trending issue at this hour. 410 northbound at I-35. We do have one that's been reported for, and it's still being listed from KSAT. So just be on the lookout there. And as I take a drive over here, we do have another one at US 90 eastbound at Nogalitos. So at this hour, that does seem to be the trending trouble out on the roadways. But we give you here with a live look at the map. You don't really see anything else. Pretty quiet start for the most part. And we'll leave it back here on rotation. 35 at 37 folks are getting up, getting out the door, getting their day started, and maybe grabbing a cup of coffee and maybe a Twinkie to go with that.
There you go.
That sounds like a good combo.
Yeah.
Always fun getting one of those in your lunchbox when you're a kid.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
my mom used to do that.
Special treat.
Thanks,
Twinkies
Mom.
or ding dongs or something like that. Yeah. And they were good trade bait too if you needed to swap something else.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right.
You're quite the wheeler dealer in the cafeteria, Mike.
Well, you never know if you wanted something else and you had to kind of swap every once in a while, do a little horse trading here and there. So we don't have any rain showing up. This is the live cam over there at 410. This is 10 heading out in toward the up to the northwest. That's the hill country right there. And I doubt really if we see anything. There may be a couple little sprinkles. Still some rain out here, primarily north of Junction. A couple of thunderstorms way out to the west over there by Ozona. But this, which was much more impressive earlier this morning, obviously continues to just sort of fizzle out. A couple little sprinkles here and there. Northwestern Medina County and a few of them in Bandera County, maybe a couple of sprinkles around Bandera. And then right there on 10, what Stephen was just showing us on that TransGuide camera out there on I-10 over by Kerrville. Again, a lot of these are sliding almost to the east now. Lakey, you're seeing a few of these showers as well. Yes, there may be some on the northwest side of town later on this morning. Kind of doubtful. Just keep that in the back of your mind if there's any sprinkles out there for some damp roads, because it will be slippery like he was talking about, because haven't had any rain in a long time in a lot of places, so could be extra slippery with the oil and dirt on the road. So there's that 10% chance for a leftover sprinkle primarily off to the northwest this morning. 88 degrees today at noon. We will have partly cloudy skies again like yesterday, and we stay in the mid-upper-ish 90s, 96 for high temperature. Whole lot better than where it has been. Of course, that's still 5 degrees above normal, but we'll take it. It's going to feel wonderful out there. And that 20% chance for just a stray storm or two. Kind of the same thing tomorrow, same thing on Thursday. Then we get into Friday. The front, which is sort of lying just across northern portions of the hill country right now, is then going to start to push a little bit further to the south, move on through here. That's going to be the focal point for more showers and thunderstorms. Now, the exact timing, there's another computer model that has this going in later on. Now, with this model, obviously that would be right around game time on Friday night. That's still kind of wait and see situation as to whether we see any showers around here during football on Friday night. And then some leftovers early on Saturday. Couple of more showers here and there scattered about. Again, long-range computer model tends to paint things in with a broad brush. We'll have lesser chances for rain then on Saturday, and then Sunday things will be clearing on out, and we'll have some lower temperatures as well over the weekend. So we'll just be in the low 90s. So 96 today, drop down a little bit tomorrow, pop up somewhat on Thursday as far as temperatures, and then we have the better chance of rain, especially Friday night into early Saturday, and low 90s over the weekend. We'll be back after this.
Good morning. Coming up here on GMA, a flash flood emergency in Massachusetts and lots of rain to come for the Northeast tomorrow. But we'll get into all of that and Lee, which is totally unrelated to what's been happening, but will eventually make that turn north. Looks like it'll go up into parts of Canada, but the wind field will be wide. So New England watching closely. Also, new developments overnight on the escaped killer in Pennsylvania. There are new reports that he was spotted and that he is now armed with a rifle. You'll see that and so much more right here on GMA.
Ahead the next hour, GMSA ex-Bexar County Constable Michelle Barrientos Vela back in court after appeal gets moved to Bexar County. The latest in the case and why it was originally in El Paso. Plus, people living in District 4 wondering why criminals aren't facing consequences for their crimes. Their frustration at Monday's town hall meeting and why they are upset with the district attorney's office. And up next, a bizarre manhunt in Pennsylvania takes another turn. Why law enforcement hasn't caught a convicted killer who's still on the run. Checking TransGuide, wet roads up in the Texas Hill Country after overnight showers and storms. We see some evidence of that on I-10 out in Kerrville right now. Those trucks and cars picking up rooster tails from those overnight showers. Will they make it to San Antonio at all this morning for the morning commute? We'll talk to Mike and Steven coming up. This morning on GMSA, a Northside ISD trustee arrested on suspicion of DWI will stay on the school board. We'll look at why in just minutes. Plus,
my consciousness started to get harder to hold on to, and I reached the point that I was like, I'm not going to live.
The American researcher trapped underground for nearly 2 weeks in Turkey is free. What he's saying now about that dramatic rescue.
Some of you are waking up to showers and storms early this morning, but here in town, still dry as a bone. Are we going to see a continuation of a drop in afternoon temperatures? Mike Osterhage is standing by with your Tuesday forecast.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Hi there. Good morning. It is 6 a.m. on your Tuesday. It is September 12th.
Good morning. Thank you so much for waking up with us on this Tuesday morning. Mark, good to see you back from vacation.
Hi. Good to be back from vacation.
Yeah, you look nice and tan. He goes on a 7-day cruise. I'm super jealous.
Rested and relaxed, but back up and at 'em this morning.
And Mike, it's been so nice to have not a triple-digit temp yesterday. It almost felt like it's crazy that we're saying 98 degrees is nice and cool.
Yeah, the 97, which is usually historically the hottest time of the year in early August, you could walk outside and didn't feel like you're, getting hit by the broilers.
Right.
So we're going to be in that neighborhood again today. Still 5 degrees above normal, but sure beats the hundreds and 104s and 105s and everything. This is the I-10 and 410 camera looking out to the northwest. There's a medical center on the left-hand side of your screen, and road is dry out there. We do have those few showers out in portions of the hill country. This thing was really going earlier this morning. Had this very distinct line of red, some very heavy rain out right around Junction, a lot of lightning strikes, and it has been continuing to sort of fizzle on out and almost working its way straight to the east right now. Seems to be taking a bit of a turn to the left right there, and just a couple leftover showers there around Kerrville, around Fredericksburg, parts of Gillespie County, Bandera County, but as you see, that's pretty much about it. If one or two of these little showers out ahead of it make it into Bexar County, okay, possibility, but really doesn't look like that's going to happen. Just kind of keep that in mind, especially if you're on the northwest side of town, for one or two of those light little showers, but it's not very likely. 79 degrees, been holding steady the past couple of hours. 69 now in Kerrville, a little bit of rain cooled the air, mid-70s, Hill Country 80, Canyon Lake, as well as Castroville, Stinson. Mold is on the moderate side, and throughout the rest of today, we are going to warm up into the 80s throughout the morning hours, 88 at noon. Nice to not be in the 90s at noon, 90 at 1 o'clock. So just about the normal high temperature in early afternoon. And then, like I said, we are going to get up into the mid-upperish 90s later on today. Still 5 above normal, but 96 ain't bad. Pardon the grammar. And still a 20% chance for a stray shower to just here or there. Not a great shot, kind of like what we had around here yesterday. Pretty much the same situation tomorrow and Thursday. Then Friday, that's when rain chances definitely pick up, especially later on Friday, overnight into Saturday. All those details, closer look at the weekend coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Stephen, any problems?
Not at this hour, Mike. We see minor things that are popping up, but nothing major that would slow folks down this early in the morning. Let's get a quick look around town. There's US 90 at General McMullen, one of the busier shots from TransGuide. You already see traffic picking up out there. And 37 at Loop 410, definitely a busy commute for a lot of folks that are waking up and heading out the door. Always expected as we get closer to morning rush, especially as we start the 6 a.m. hour. Check out the traffic that's coming at your screen at I-10 there at I-35, and these cameras are going fast. There's I-10 at Kerrville West. That is a shot that we have been showing you, which shows that pretty much the conditions out there are pretty wet for drivers. So be on the lookout as your commute does get moving. Now, we still have this stall that's been reported at Loop 410 northbound at I-35. It's not really caused any issues, and I'm not really too concerned about it, but we want you to be aware if you have to travel through there, maybe a little bit later this morning. You may see some flashing lights. Could be a TxDOT Hero truck, so just be on the lookout. But that same trend does continue back here into town. I-10 westbound at Frio Street, we do have another stalled vehicle reported. So as a friendly reminder, check those vehicles before your commute does get moving. Last place you want to be stranded at is along the roadway this dark and early in the morning. But the wide view of the map doesn't show anything else happening. We do have one crash that may have popped up near State Highway 16, Bandera Road. You could see it there on our map near Leon Valley. We'll find out how that impacts the drive, but doesn't seem to be impacting the main lanes of traffic. As we take a look at these travel times, you see here the journey from I-10 westbound along Seguin, or coming in from Seguin, I should say, is 28 minutes. 33 minutes along 87 northbound if you're heading in from Lavernia. And for our friends in Floresville, it's a 29-minute commute to get here to the Alamo City. But back here on TransGuide, smooth commute, just getting busier. We'll keep a close eye on things, and I'll have another update for you coming up a little bit later on. Mark.
Thank you, Stephen. A Northside ISD trustee arrested on suspicion of DWI will stay on the school board. Last night, trustees announced the board does not have the authority to remove Dr. Carla Duran. The District 3 trustee was arrested during a traffic stop earlier this month. Duran shared a statement with KSAT last week saying in part she is, quote, fully committed to continuing to serve the Northside ISD community.
KSAT cameras were in court Monday as Michelle Barrientos Vela returned to Bexar County. The ex-constable is appealing her felony conviction for tampering with records. Her case was moved to an appeals court in El Paso to balance court dockets. But then it was moved back here over questions about whether the trial record was complete. So looking back, there were multiple court reporters working Barrientos Vela's case. It was also moved between trial courts and had numerous hearings.
We need to confirm that there was nothing in the 379 that was heard or transcribed that also needs to be supplemented.
Barrientos Vela faces 90 days in jail pending the outcome of her appeal. She is on probation through early January of 2028. And according to our court record, she has followed the terms of her community supervision.
6:06 in your other morning headlines. Police in Pennsylvania still hunting for escape killer Danilo Cavalcante. And after reports of a new sighting, they say he might now be armed with a rifle. The convicted killer has slipped through police lines more than once, leaving authorities to defend their strategy and continue the manhunt. Latest images captured on doorbell video shows Cavalcante now clean-shaven, wearing different clothing. Despite their initial perimeter, investigators say he slipped past them and stole an unlocked van.
No perimeter is 100% secure. It's not a wall. It doesn't have a ceiling. We will ultimately capture him. He doesn't have what he needs to last long term.
The suspect apparently contacted a former co-worker who called police, but by the time officers showed up, he was gone.
Now to the landmark antitrust case against Google. It's going to trial today. So Google is accused of stifling competition and creating an online monopoly. The implications go far beyond Google and to the growing artificial intelligence market. The trial is expected to last through November, and a decision is not expected until next year.
Happening today, the CDC voting on recommendations for new COVID vaccine boosters. The FDA authorized and approved updated boosters yesterday. This comes amid rising cases and hospitalizations across the country. The boosters made by Pfizer and Moderna and are formulated to target variants that are currently going around. Well, this morning, an American researcher trapped for nearly 2 weeks in a cave over in Turkey is now free.
As ABC's Rhiannon Alley reports, he's now talking about the incredible rescue and what it was like to see daylight again.
It is amazing to be above ground again.
American cave explorer Mark Dickey speaking overnight about this dramatic moment, finally being hoisted to safety. He spent 12 long days trapped in a Turkish cave after falling severely ill more than 3,400 feet below the surface, unable to ascend. Dickey now describing his harrowing struggle for survival.
My consciousness started to get harder to hold on to, and I reached the point that I was like, I'm not going to live.
ABC's Marcus Moore reporting from the scene, rescuers behind him emerging with Dickey.
You can see Mr. Dickey there with that thermal blanket wrapped around him. This was a delicate operation, a delicate mission, one that took a lot of manpower and a lot of planning.
More than 150 rescuers teamed up, spending days beneath the surface, giving Dickey life-saving medical intervention for gastrointestinal bleeding, including a blood transfusion, all more than a half-mile underground. Then, beginning the treacherous journey, pulling Dickey, sometimes vertically, through the complex cave system on a stretcher, traversing narrow, winding passageways, even as the cave flooded with 3 feet of water.
It's been one hell of a crazy adventure, but I'm on the surface safely. I'm still alive.
Back above ground, Dickey grateful for the light at the end of the tunnel.
I gotta tell you, I don't know what to say. This is overwhelming. This is a first.
Make it a last.
Make it a last time too. Thank you.
Look at that smile. Dickey was flown by helicopter to a hospital where he is now recovering. And his parents, in a statement, thanking rescuers for the tremendous effort to save their son. Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
6:10, 78 degrees.
It may not feel like fall, but the tastes of the season are all around us. After the break, some of the KSAT crew takes a bite to share if some of the new treats, if they're worth the hype.
Man, I missed out on that.
Yeah, you go on vacation for 7 days and we eat fall treats here.
That's it. I'm not leaving again. Just kidding. Okay, outside with Lycan, waiting for the sun to come up on a Tuesday morning. Glad you're with us here on GMSA.